You're supposed to doubt. Don't be a sucker and just swallow it. Don't swallow everything I'm saying, for God's sake. Well, you can swallow it because it's a scripture. Unfortunately, I'm not saying it. The scripture's saying it. But if these gurus are telling you stuff, you better have your disbelief function going really, really good. Because in the spiritual world, there's more bullshit than anything, any place. And it all sounds so wonderfully beautiful and sexy and enticing, just like in the worldly world. So we need to know what's going on, and you need to doubt. And how do you? And so consciousness evolved this function. Now, how do you resolve a doubt? You can't just sit there and dither all the time, or you go nuts. You know ditherers? These are people who just they're the most miserable people. They cannot make up their mind what to do. They're on this side of it's like, shit or get off the pot. But no, I just like to sit here and, try. Because they can't make up their mind what they're going to do. That's awful. That'll kill you. It'll drive you, it'll just completely drain you. Your mind will go crazy because you can't. So how do you determine? So consciousness said, okay, we'll give these poor suckers we'll give them a break, we'll give them an intellect so they can make up their mind. But how are they going to make up their mind? On the basis of what are you going to decide what to do? On the basis of your conditioning. And who's conditioning you? Did you condition you? Or did what? Maya condition you? Did you make all those decisions that are forcing you to do all these things now? Or did you, If you did, then why did you make all those dumb decisions and why are you suffering now? If you made them all. Because you wouldn't make dumb decisions and wouldn't be suffering now if you made those decisions, would you? But those decisions were made for you how? By ignorance. So the intellect goes here and just checks with its programming, and then it just tells the ego to do what it wants to do and causes the senses to act, and then you're just stuck in this chakra of action and desire over and over and over again. Round and round and round you go. It's a setup, guys. We're screwed. Gallows humor. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. The anticar, it doubts and determines. It's doubting function of okay, now, I'm going to keep on this creation. How are we doing here? How's our time running on the...
Another 15 minutes or so.
Okay, good. From the Rajas portion of the 5 elements arose in turn the organs of action, speech, hands, feet, anus, and the sex organ. So that's these guys. They come from the Rajas, okay? Rajas is Vikshepa. It makes things move, and that's why you got these motor functions. These motor functions come from Rajas. Prana, the vital air, and I didn't put that sheath in here. So you got to imagine another little sheath here between this body and that body, okay? Prana, the vital air, arose from the Rajas portion of the 5 subtle elements. It divided into the 5 physiological functions, which are prana, apana, samana, udana, and vyana. These are your autonomic nervous system. Your digestion, excretion, respiration, assimilation, circulation, absorption, and the power to eject the soul from the subtle body from the physical body. That's called udana. Udana is a power that's in the prana sheath here, the prana system, that can throw the subtle body out of the physical body when the physical body is no longer serves your karma. When your karma is no, this physical body doesn't work to act out your karma, then the udana kicks in and it ejects the subtle body from the physical body. That's called death. And the subtle body goes back to the seed state and picks up a new physical body later on, so it can act out its stuff. The 5 sensory organs, the 5 organs of action, the 5 vital airs, mind and intellect, together form the subtle body called the Linga Sharira, or the Sukshma Sharira. Now you can't see that Linga Sharira, you can't see the subtle body with your physical eyes. With your physical eyes you see the physical body. And you can't see consciousness with your physical eyes. Why? Because consciousness or awareness is beyond perception and inference. So how are you going to see it? Well, you see, this subtle body is called the Linga Sharira. Sharira means a body. Sharira means what's subject to decay. A Sharira means anything that's subject to change or decay. And it's a linga, what? That indicates the power of consciousness. Why? Because it's made of sattva and it reflects awareness. When you meet somebody, you just meet them, and before anybody opens their mouth, that's a good moment to just stop and think. Because as soon as they open their mouth, then you're screwed. Then you got to listen to their damn story, and they got to listen to your story. And then your mind starts going and their mind starts going, and it's a big mess from that point on. But say you just meet a person, they're standing there in front of you, and you see, what do you see? You see 2 things. You see a physical body, and you see what? Consciousness. Why do you see consciousness? Because the Linga Sharira is reflecting awareness. Awareness reflects on the subtle body, and you see a conscious being there. You think it's a person because you associate it with a physical body, but if you investigate the light that's reflecting on this subtle body, you'll see that it's limitless awareness. That's why they call it the Linga Sharira. It's a linga, or a form, or a symbol that points us to the self. And if you want to know the self, it's here that you know the self. You can know and experience the self. When prajna, that's this ignorant person, this waking ignorant person, identifies with an individual subtle body, it is called Tejasa, the shining one, or the dreamer. This is the waking aspect of the dream state we're talking about now. Looking at it from Ishwar's point of view. Okay? Tejasa, this prajna, when it identifies with a subtle body, in its deep sleep state, it's called the deep sleeper. It's called prajna. It's identified with the causal body here, and it just gets bliss. But when prajna identifies here with the subtle body, it's called Tejasa, the shining one, or the dreamer. How cool is that? That's really weird, isn't it? Think about it. When you're dreaming, you see a whole world. Right now we're in a big dream, but we take it to be real. But just imagine that you're in a dream, and you're in a dream satsang, and you're in dream trout lake with dream trees and the dream sun shining, and dream Ramji babbling Vedanta. Huh? Now in this dream, you can see this dream well enough, can't you? Because the sun's shining. So, that makes sense. You can see me, I can see you, we can hear all that. The sun's shining. There's light. But in the dream, at night, you're dreaming, your sense instruments are shut down, aren't they? So no light's coming in, is it? There's no light, in the dream. Well, then how the hell do you see all the your dream world? You got dream trees, dream Vedanta, dream Ramji, dream sun, dream moon, dream everything is there. All is there. No light is there to see it. How do you see it? Because what? Of Tejasa. The subtle bodies reflecting the light of awareness, and what? And the objects are appearing in the subtle body and are illumined by the reflected awareness, and that's what? And that's called Tejasa. See how it works? I just tell you. So cool. So I still, after all these years, I still get a joy out of how this works. How beautiful Bhagawan. We call Maya, a friend of mine, he's an artist in England. He calls it beautiful, intelligent ignorance. I've taken that up. That's good. It's beautiful and it's intelligent. How it's all set up here. How beautiful. It's called the dreamer. So it's just identifying. When Ishvara identifies with the totality of subtle bodies, it's known as Hiranyagarbha, or the golden egg. The golden egg means it's the womb, an egg is a womb, out of which all the minds, all the subtle bodies come. Everything's got a subtle body. A mosquito's got a subtle body. A microbe has a subtle body. That subtle body belongs to it. And what's operating that subtle body? Ishvara. Jiva can, to some degree, operate his own subtle body. Some jivas like us, we can operate our subtle bodies if we have certain kind of control and power. But in the other lower forms of animals, it just Ishvara operates the subtle body. Right? But every jiva has a subtle body, and it's run by what? It comes out of Ishvara, the macrocosmic subtle body. Just like sleep is universal, the subtle body is universal. Okay? Tejasa is the individual because it only has knowledge of its own subtle body. What does that mean? Ishvara has knowledge of all the subtle bodies. In other words, it knows everything is thinking and feeling and doing all the time. But I only know what, because I'm Jiva, I only know what I'm thinking and feeling all the time. People think because I'm supposed to be enlightened, I know what they're thinking. I don't. I don't want to know what you're thinking. So, I only know what little Ramji thinks, and that's all I'm worried about. I don't worry about what you're thinking. I don't want to know what you're thinking. I got enough problems with my own thoughts to worry about your thoughts, just to add another problem to me. So, means what? Jiva is not Ishvara. Jiva's subtle body has limited knowledge and power and action, and Ishvara has limitless knowledge and power and action. Ishvara sees through all the subtle bodies. Jiva only sees through one little tiny third-rate subtle body. That's all. And to get this clear, who Ishvara is and who Jiva is. Look at, this is going to put you in your place, okay? See, if we just say, "Oh, God knows everything," that's what the Christians say. Well, that's right. God knows everything. But so what? What does that mean? Who's going to swallow that bullshit? Nobody's going to swallow that bullshit. You'll swallow that bullshit when Vedanta tells you that bullshit. Huh? Won't you? Because it's not bullshit, because it makes sense, it's logical, it totally fits with your own experience, it's completely logical and intelligent.